So 1, 2, 3. AZIEAN, Zaway, FAZNINA. So there's only 3 of you in this group.
4, supposedly?
4, 4.
4.
Who is the other one? Okay, boleh kita mulakan? Can we start?
Assalamualaikum to our panelists, Dr. Siti Salina and Dr. Nur Hafizah binti Muhammad. We are from group H16 and we are going to present about malnutrition and consequences among universities Malaysia Kelantan City Campus students. And firstly, we will introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Danial bin SAWANI SAIDULAHAD. My matric number is H19A0300. So,
my name is FAZNINA binti HASHIM. Matric number is 19A0396.
My name is Ziwei. My matric number is H190762.
My name is AZIEAN binti ALIAS. My matric number is H19A0388.
okay, firstly, I will continue with introduction. In this first chapter,
Haris, sekejap Haris. Tak present lagi. Nanti.
belum.
Okay, Haris.
Okay, firstly, I will share about the introduction. In the first chapter is contain the study background, problem statement, research objective, research question, the studies importance, and summary. The theories, concepts, words and ideas to the topic or issues are included in the studies backdrop. A problem statement is a concise and straightforward statement that defines the system of a specific problem that the researchers intend to investigate. And the study objectives are declarations of purpose or intent activities that can be defined in the form of action to respond to the given question. Next. Okay, for the next slide is the background of the studies. According to the developing nations, on the other hand, it will have an impact on the issues of nutritional status, which this will be determined by the country's poverty level. When the country is poor, children in the city will suffer from malnutrition, but when the country is wealthy, children will almost certainly suffer from overnutrition that leading to obesity. For example, is one of every 3 Malaysian that aged 16 and up suffer from mental illness that according to the 2017 National Health and Morbidity Service. And according to Momina EVIC 2018, the finding of the study shows a strong positive link between malnutrition and psychological discomfort, as well as the significant effect of malnutrition on psychological distress. And the changing food environment, such as the food supply and preparation of food, as well as expanding market factors such as advertising and food trends, will have an impact on the sort of food. Next slide. Problem statement. Okay, for the problem statement section, malnutrition among students is common nowadays, especially among students with poor mental health. This must be considered since poor mental health and well-being have an influence on students' academic result and willingness to continue in higher education. Malnutrition might happen as a result of students' lack of exposure to essential nutrition information, and this is because students pay less attention to the need of eating nutritious food to live a healthier life. Furthermore, malnutrition can arise when students do not consume enough food, and this is because the previous studies finding revealed that breakfast skipping behaviors are related to a lack of nourishment. Next. Okay, next I will continue with research question. The first is, what is the link between mental health and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus students? Second is, what is the link between a lack of knowledge and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus students? And the last one is, what is the link between poor food consumption and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus students? Next, I will continue with research objective. The first research objective is to study the link between mental condition and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus students. Second is to explore the link between malnutrition and a lack of knowledge among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus students. And the third is to analyze the link between poor food consumption and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus students. Next slide. In this slide, I will tell about the significance of the study. Firstly, this study intends to contribute to the body of knowledge regarding how malnutrition factors might arise among universities Malaysia Kelantan students based on the finding of this research. Students nowadays are unaware of such a circumstance that the findings of this study will contribute to the enhancement of education in healthy and balanced food consumption. As a result, students are required to have sufficient information to consume a well-balanced diet that includes calories, fats, protein, vitamins, and sufficient fiber to suit body's demand. And this research will assist a student to in avoiding mental health issues, which are often the major cause of malnutrition in students. Next slide. Chapter 2. Next slide. Wait. For the chapter 2, it consists the literature review. This chapter recover how to perform a literature review, which is a crucial aspect of constructing theoretical construct and conceptual models because it helps to synthesize research findings to give meta-level evidence and identity areas that need further investigation. By combining observation and insight from various empirical data, a literature review will analyze research subject with a vigor that no one study possesses. Okay, for the next part, I will pass to next presenter.
Okay, I will present for the next slide. Okay, this is the factor of the malnutrition. Okay, the first factor is factor of family property. Okay, family is the main supporter that will support their children to continue study in degree with the financial. So in university, it costs of lots of money that consists of many aspects. So due to financial problem, parents were not able to give their children that still study to have help to have healthy food. Based on Azriel Zaim. Okay, so the issue now is the student lack of vitamin and minerals, and it will affect losing weight. Okay, for the next factor is factor of knowledge and about nutritious eating. So it due to limited time, students did not the take the knowledge of nutritious about eating as a serious matter. It lead to exposed to the most unhealthy lifestyle. So they just exposed to instant food instead of fresh cooked food. So it affect to a lots of issues among them like overweight, which is can expose them to heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and cancer. Okay, for the next factor is loss of appetite among young student. One of the factor is malnutrition among young student is loss of appetite can be happen to everyone in 22 regardless of gender. There will be some of condition that cause of appetite to disappear um over a long period of the time cause complication for the patient. It come up with a symptom becoming weak and also weight loss. So this can be lead to nutritional deficiencies and problem which can have determinant influence of on patient health over well-being and quality of life. So the next is eating practice. When we don't have a good eating practice in their life, for example, they throwing back the food that they just because they scared to look fat. So effect is this is a bad habit that can cause of issues where they were easy to get sick, stress, tiredness, depression, and other because of they have no nutrition that enter in their body. Okay, next factor is next slide. Okay, next is food insecurities among UNK students. The issues of the food insecurities is very important to the university student, which is produced from factor plays an important role for the public to feel safe by eating the food. Food securities is nowadays is available at all time of the world. Food of uh, sufficient, nutritious, varied, and balanced and moderate. So it with poor nutritional quality is linked to acute and chronic health issue. Okay, next is next for methodology. Okay, for the first methodology that we use is research design. With research design, we use qualitative research method, and secondly is the phenomenological studies research design. Okay, second is sampling. Sampling, we use non-probability sampling and purpose or judgmental sampling on an appropriate technique for this research. We collect respondent in public. So third is target population. Target population is we target the person who do not eat balanced diet on daily life for UN student in University Malaysia Kelantan City Campus. So and all the faculty undergraduate student at University Malaysia Kelantan City Campus. Fourth is sample size. Sample size, we collect 50 respondent, and the respondent range from first year student until final year student. Okay, for the fifth is data collection. Data collection, we use semi-structured interview. Semi-structured interview is the researcher making a face-to-face interview with the respondent to answer their opinion, and in-depth interview with which is conceive with open-ended question to ask all the interviewer. Okay, for the last method is data analysis. Data analysis is thematic analysis. We use thematic analysis to analyze the malnutrition of sequence among university students through in-depth interview. Okay, next I will pass to the next presenter.
I will continue with finding and discussion. In this study, we use a semi-structured interview method to collect data. We use 15 respondents to complete the study. The discussion based on research question. Semi-structured interview was discussing on how to collect data in qualitative research. Also, it was an important instrument in this data collection method. This method involves conduct interview in a small number of participants to know their perspective on area and situation. We have created three sections, which is section A, mental condition, section B, lack of knowledge, and the last one, section C, food consumption. Next. They also have objective 1 and objective 2. Objective 1 to study the link between mental condition and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City Campus students. Malnutrition among students is common nowadays, especially among students with poor mental health. The high rate of mental illness reported by students as well as the significant rise in the number of students seeking counseling at college demonstrate this. Therefore, mental health can cause malnutrition among adolescents, especially among students. Besides that, we have objectives to explore the link between a lack of knowledge and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus students. Malnutrition might happen as a result of student lack of exposure to essential nutrition information. This is because students pay less attention to the need of eating nutritious food to live a healthier lifestyle. Besides that, malnutrition is defined being underweight, overweight, or having an imbalance in the consumption of a balanced dietary supply of nutrients. From the previous interview session, they were clearly informed to the researcher that are some questions that should be answered by them. The result we found from the student was a lack of knowledge related to malnutrition. I will pass to the next presenter.
So the related with previous study, we have completed the questionnaire in this area that is linked to a previous study on literature review that author conduct. In the first section, respondents were asked about their thought on what is malnutrition and to name a disease that include malnutrition. Malnutrition is a word that refers to two types of condition, which is underweight and overweight. Students are more likely to be exposed on unhealthy lifestyle in which they eat simple enough to get for one day. They were more exposed to instant food like instant noodle, fried chicken, and other similar food than fresh cooked food. This issue comes as a result of their lack of information about healthy eating habits, and instead of focusing on having decent meal, they are only concerned with how to fill their stomachs. This has resulted in a variety of issues, including obesity, underweight, and other conditions that can lead to heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and cancer. The effect on an improper diet may be observed in the change that occur in a student body, which are neither skinny nor obese. This is our research finding. What is the link between mental health and malnutrition among University Malaysia's Kelantan City campus student? Second one is, what is link between a lack knowledge and malnutrition among University student Malaysia Kelantan City campus student? And lastly is, what is the link between poor food consumption and malnutrition among University Malaysia Kelantan City campus student? So our limitation is the difficulty to meet the respondent is one of the research limitations. Some classes are held online due to COVID-19. So as a result, the majority students will remain at home or only on campus when necessary. So we are hard to find the respondent. And we also must spend some time collecting information when it consumes a lot of time and energy. The researcher problem, which is we cannot sit down face to face to discuss and complete the task or the research. So our recommendation is the government can give subsidized program and healthy food aid to impoverish students, such as food, healthcare, or water, in order to overcome the problem of student malnutrition. Organize a campaign to promote awareness among students about the necessity of leading a healthy lifestyle. And lastly, students should be concerned about nutritional knowledge and make dietary improvement by choosing a more well-balanced diet that fulfills the body needs. So the conclusion is, the objective of this study was to learn more about the causes of malnutrition among University Malaysia City campus quota students. As a result, mental health, a lack of comprehension, and inadequate food consumption are all key causes to malnutrition among Malaysia students. The information offered to this study will be useful to other researchers in the future. That's all from us. Thank you. So
Okay, thank you, Group H16. All right. So you actually exceed the 15-minute time. All right. So I need to ask a few questions about your research. Yes. So the first question: why do you think that Malaysian student is malnutrition?
Because many previous study because obesity in Malaysia is have many cases
Mm-hmm. So
according
in
to
Malaysia, how you decide how you decide that university students are among of the obesity percentage of Malaysian population?
Madam, can repeat the question? Like
So, okay, sorry. Okay, so I mean, how do you let me rephrase my questions. Okay, why do you think that Malaysian university student is among of the obese percentage of Malaysian population? Are you sure about that? Do you have any proof that show that university student in Malaysia has a highest obesity rate?
uh,
Okay. Okay. My next question. Uh, what is food insecurity? What do you mean by food insecurity among Malaysian university students?
they don't know what food to take. Healthy food.
Okay. And how do you decide? How do you select the participant to be interviewed? You said that you were conducted a semi-structured interview face to face. How you decide whether someone is obese or skinny or what? Have you met your participant face to face?
Yes, we see that their body maybe.
Okay. So you have 15 participants. So all the 15 participants is from our faculty or you will include another faculty?
Included our others.
Faculty.
Hmm.
Okay, saya nak tanya Haris.
Yes, madam.
Okay, mana mukanya? Okay, in your okay. So would you please define malnutrition?
Malnutrition is a situation where student lacks of nutrition in their body because of bad dietary that they had for your daily.
Okay, so how okay, what to consider? What kind of nutrition that we need for our body?
Nutrition like vitamins, protein, and others that can
Others,
give energy and protein for our bodies.
Okay, so my last question, what can you conclude? What can you conclude from your study, from your semi-structured interview data semua, and then what can you conclude in terms of, the perceptions of malnutrition among UMK students?
Can you repeat another?
Okay. What is your own conclusion based on your data? What is your own conclusion? Um, uh, the opinion of University Malaysia Kelantan student towards malnutrition. What is the factors what the factors they are thinking happen? I mean, what is the factor that affect they're not consuming a good nutrition?
Mm,
Can I answer this?
Yes,
Okay.
Faznina.
I can conclude that in University Malaysia Kelantan student, um, certain student know about the nutrition of food that we used to take in our daily life, but it's not completely have knowledge about that. So we just eat based on our knowledge, some of our knowledge to eat in our daily life. So for example, if um late night we just feel hungry, we just take fast food. It because they think that um calorie cut in our body can also take
Mhm.
nutrition in our body. But if we take fast food, it not it's some of it's also the bad habit for our body lah, our eating
Mhm.
lifestyle.
Okay. All right. That's all questions from me. Dr. Siti Salina.
Yes. Saya cuma nak tahu macam mana did you choose responden yang you all cakap tadi all across the faculty kat UMK. Adakah all the responden you all memang dah detect dia orang yang malnutrition punya ni? Macam mana you all pilih the responden ni?
Ada yang random, ada yang tengok macam urus macam tu lah.
You tengok kurus and then pilih. Kalau random tu in which aspect?
Dia boleh answer in Malay.
Boleh.
Macam kalau malnutrition, kita boleh tengok daripada the overweight or underweight. So kalau underweight, some of symptom that yang yang kami boleh collect, ada some of symptom macam pening-pening, selalu pening macam tu lah. Kalau overweight, mungkin dia pernah cakap yang dia selalu pening, macam rasa kebal-kebal kaki tu, kita boleh detect juga dia as overweight.
Okay, so itu je lah sebab saya just tengok daripada you choose of the respondent and then dia akan lead sampai ke you all punya result and seterusnya. So nak tahu how did you choose, kalau kat situ pilih ni macam mana result tu, adakah accurate ke tak kan. So okay, so that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Dr.
Oh.
Thank you Dr. Salina.
Okay. Thank you.
Apa tu malnutrition sebenarnya? Macam mana kita collect data? Macam mana kita nak tahu orang tu malnutrition ke tak? Macam mana lagi? Banyak bukan satu dua.